Hi, and welcome back to Football Made Simple.
The Carabao Cup took centre stage as Klopp's Liverpool and Tuchel's Chelsea locked horns at Wembley. Chelsea are already Club World Cup champions, whilst Liverpool are doing well in the league, and it made this a hard match to call. But in the end, Liverpool ended up as champions due to a penalty shootout, after both sides went scoreless despite creating good situations. The XG after 90 minutes was roughly equal, 1.72 to 1.8. But what tactics did both managers use? Let's take a quick look.
A quick reminder of the formations used by both sides, as seen on the OneFootball app. OneFootball will get you match updates, formation updates, as well as player and team stats, and so much more. And the best part is, you can get it absolutely free through the sponsored link in the description below.
We'll begin with Chelsea on the ball. When Chelsea had the ball deep, they looked to build with a back three, and the wing-backs pushing higher. And Liverpool were generally proactive with their pressing in this encounter, with the front three looking to go man-to-man with the back three to easily apply pressure. And in these situations, we did see Kovacic try and drop deeper to be the extra outlet option for Chelsea. And here we see the advantage of Liverpool's midfield three outnumbering Chelsea's midfield two, as a Liverpool midfielder could confidently push up to press, knowing they would still have protection in behind them. So Liverpool could win the ball in these dangerous areas, and the 3 versus 3 press meant that the wingers were well positioned to attack the space behind the wing-back, or have dangerous 1 versus 1 scenarios. One alternative shape Chelsea tried was keeping Thiago Silva higher, so that Silva could effectively be a third midfielder. This would mean if the forward was drawn into pressing Mendy, Silva could potentially be free to receive. However, Mane's strategic pressing meant that Silva was consistently in his cover shadow, so this ploy was soon abandoned. But Liverpool having their midfield three rather narrow meant that the space was naturally with the wing-backs, as we can see by Alonso, and the addition of James and Azpilicueta having the most touches in the game. And at times, if Liverpool's fullbacks looked to press, Mount or Pulisic would attack the wide area, although Van Dijk and Matip were quick to look to close down the space. But still, Klopp wanted to avoid these situations when the backline overcommitted to one side. So the fullback tended to be more conservative, allowing the fullback to receive and hoping the wide midfielder would come across to cover. But one effective strategy in the build-up is that after Liverpool had moved across as a unit to cover, Chelsea consistently had the switch of play out to the far side wing-back on, as the Liverpool winger had been pressing more narrow, meaning now the Chelsea wing-back could build up with more space ahead of them. But what did Liverpool do in possession? Liverpool also looked to build up short when possible, and Chelsea had a more adaptable defensive shape. If Chelsea were in their 3-4-3, Liverpool used their 3 versus 2 advantage in the midfield well. Keita and Henderson pushed up higher, leaving Fabinho as the single pivot, as they tied up the Chelsea midfielders, so Fabinho now had the room to receive and looked to dictate the game. If a Chelsea midfielder was drawn towards the ball or Fabinho, Henderson and later Elliott were able to receive here in the half space and look to feed Salah for a 1 versus 1. So Chelsea looked to adapt by dropping Pulisic into the midfield, so their defense was more of a 5-3-2. In addition, a priority was cutting out Fabinho, so Mount usually looked to sit on him. However, when the centre-back was on the ball, Mount was easily drawn out to him, allowing Fabinho to then receive in space and still help the team advance. And one effect of pushing the wider central midfielders higher was that now Salah had to primarily start wide in order to maintain the front five attacking shape that Klopp prefers. So Trent, rather than overlapping or crossing from wide regions, mainly operated in deeper and more central areas. Overall, Liverpool will be delighted to pick up their first piece of silverware after the shootout, and will hope that it catapults them onto bigger and better things for the season. Chelsea will rue the number of big chances they missed, and offsides that led to no goals, but may take encouragement from the performance. But what did you make of both teams in this match? Drop it down in the comments below. And for the managerial score, neither manager was able to take charge of the final, with neither at their absolute best, meaning both managers earned a middling 6th. But what are your ratings for both managers' tactics? Drop them down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, you may also enjoy the FMS Patreon. On Patreon, you'll get early access to videos, exclusive videos, as well as the ability to vote on various polls and so much more. It's a great way to support the channel, and it is now cheaper than ever. All you have to do is head over to patreon.com/footballmadesimple, or press the card in the top right or the end card at the end of this video. And a special thanks to my patrons, including my latest ones like Ref, Kobe Johnson, Ben2001, Loco Osipov, and Jake.
But that's all for today, and remember, keep it simple.